In the last few years, we're beginning to see a number of really successful Chinese companies, particularly in the internet space, that are racing ahead of the rest of the world. And I think this is causing tremendous unease and anxiety in Washington.
Now, when we talk about the two decoupling, not just competing, but decoupling, that implies that the Chinese are going to have their companies, their products, their Internet of Things. We're going to have ours. Is that what we're talking about?
That's a piece of it. So one element would be if you are a multinational company, you serve markets around the world. When you show up at an airport, say, and you open up your phone and you want to be able to get text messages, you want to be able to use your credit card when you show up around the world, it's this understanding that the systems are interoperable. You can use them seamlessly. So if we move down this path of separate systems, it's possible that you might have products and services that simply don't work in markets around the world. And what does that do? I mean, it does a number of things. It drags on costs. So the margins for multinational companies, they have to build products and services to comply with all these different standards is one. I think you also have a delay in innovation, right? The idea that researchers and engineers are working on apps, on applications that are built on common infrastructure, this sort of open source common infrastructure, and that's what's really driving advancement. And as soon as you start to pull that apart, you see a lag time in terms of being able to really move forward.
So we understand why that would be problematic for the companies who historically have wanted to have access to every market and every scientist and every advance. How is it going to affect the experience of a typical consumer, either in the United States or in China? What will they feel that's different?
Well, things might get more expensive, but I think there's also a component of safety, right? I think about these are technologies that are going to fundamentally alter human society. And we don't have rules of the road yet when it comes to safety and ethics for how these technologies are going to be deployed. And I think if you have the best companies, the best researchers around the world not able to talk to each other and communicate about that, that becomes actually kind of dangerous. So that's, it doesn't mean you show up at Walmart or Best Buy and have trouble finding the right product. It's more of an existential thing. What is it going to mean when computers are woven seamlessly through our lives and we don't have rules of the road? We don't have the best minds around the world talking to each other about how to do that. That's where I worry about my children.